I am a GenXer. Jeremy is a Millennial, sometimes called a Gen Y, and Lincoln is a Gen Z. So we're going to review and discuss the Mario movie from 3 generational perspectives. Welcome to Matters With. I'm your host, ThisPhillipBrian, and today we're here to discuss Mario Matters with you. What was the first Mario game you remember playing?
I think my first one I've ever played was actually 3D World.
Super Mario Bros. 3 on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Mario Brothers, where they're just the stuff's coming down the sewer pipes and you have to knock them over. All right, well, let's talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I appreciated how suddenly they start hitting us with all of these Nintendo Easter eggs and using the song from, I think, the old Mario TV series.
If your sick is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
It did what I was expecting. It sets the tone that it's not going to be a movie that is wildly plot driven. I never have played a Mario game because I was interested in the story. I was interested in the experience.
I think how it just began where it started with the commercial, I think that was just like a really good transition. Having them run through the construction site too kind of already shows how Mario is really athletic. Honestly, they make it seem like Luigi isn't all that important, which is a theme I think that they should have changed.
If I were to want a director's cut version of this movie that added 60 minutes, is Luigi in the Dark World, because it completely set up for a Luigi's Mansion scenario. I mean, he was holding the flashlight and shaking, and in that moment, acting very Luigi, in my opinion, and you could have done so much with the character, but it would have required at least an extra 30 minutes, I think. But it would have been so great to have Mario over here on one side becoming Mario, but then have Luigi over here staying true to the character of the so-called Frady Cat between the two of them, but still advancing, becoming a better Mario character, evolving in the same way that he does in the games.
The bit with Luigi and him getting captured by Bowser's minions was fun, but it was regulated to a subplot level that I was a little disappointed in. His arrival in the Mushroom Kingdom almost couldn't have played out better.
Please, Nintendo, give us a Mario game that looks like that. I want it so badly, because seeing Mushroom Kingdom, when they come over that hill and you see the castle, the smile on my face had to have been so big, because I was like, they nailed that.
When they were crossing between the buildings, you could see floating bricks, and Mario just says, these bricks are just floating here? Because that just happens in all of the Mario games.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a really funny experience.
When they get into the Mushroom Kingdom and seeing how all the pipe, everything is all connected, and the toads are all using them, and they've got the shops, and the one makes the little comment about how you just have to blow on it, and it's an old cartridge.
Those in jokes, some people are going to criticize them, but that's what this movie should be. Because again, I always say you judge entertainment by what it's trying to do versus what it accomplishes.
What I really loved is that Nintendo decided not to make Princess Peach the damsel in distress. That made me feel good, that like she's not, oh, help me, Mario. It's more of like, here, I can help you.
I agree. I appreciate that they went with the intelligent and empowered Peach as opposed to going with the old trope of she's just the princess that was captured. I feel like they sort of shoehorned Luigi into that role.
The portrayal of Luigi was disappointing, but he has his moments, and overall I'm very pleased. I just wish that I wish he wouldn't have vanished, locked away in a cage for a good portion of the movie. Luigi is a scared character. We've established that in multiple games, but he's also brave. So he can be scared and brave at the same time. Luigi has gotten through his own games very successfully without Mario and without Peach.
That probably upset a lot of the people who decided to be player 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, I've always preferred to play as Luigi over Mario, and I have nothing against Mario, but I've always liked Luigi more.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail.
So I appreciate that they made the Kong Kingdom and Donkey Kong a major character in the movie. The Take On Me song came on, and I never would have placed that as something that would fit in a Mario movie of any sort, but it worked. And then Donkey Kong and that entire battle was such a spectacle, and the payoff there for me was seeing Catsuit Mario, because I legitimately was like, how is Mario going to actually win this? Because he needs to, based on what we've heard before. And then when he gets the cat, I was like, oh, that's how.
Exactly. That whole battle sequence where Mario has to earn using the Kong army to go fight Bowser, and he has to do it by fighting Donkey Kong one-on-one. That whole scene was fantastic. I agree with you 100%. When he is just getting his butt kicked by Donkey Kong, and then he hits that box and the cat suit comes out, and he's like, I'm a cat. I'm a cat. And he realizes cat-like reflexes, razor-sharp claws, great speed, and then the tune between Mario and Donkey Kong changes very quickly.
And then Peach asks Mario how'd he win. Then Donkey Kong says, I let him win, and throws a barrel at Mario.
Bowser blackmails Princess Peach into agreeing to marry him. Peach goes along, but she's got a plan as well.
I think after the roller coaster ride that was the whole Mario Kart scene and Rainbow Road, this may have come a little too fast for me to have stuck out nearly as much. I think it just may have been that I enjoyed the previous part with all of the Mario Kart racing more.
I really liked the fight scene, but then again, how Jeremy described it, a roller coaster ride of the Mario Kart, it made the wedding battle seem not as much as it should have been. Well, I loved the part where Peach burnt the end of the sword to where she was able to use King Bomb as a weapon.
I think you're both right. The penultimate battle in Mushroom Kingdom on Rainbow Road was more dynamic than the actual battle at Bowser and Peach's wedding. But then we go back to New York for the final battle, and Mario's got to save the day.
Well, I really liked how they brought back to New York. It really showed about that the story can end at the beginning. And when Mario was knocked down, how the commercial played once more, where it inspired Mario to get back up and fight again. And it really just shows about how Mario just doesn't give up.
I do appreciate that they used this to kind of close some of the little bits of plot point they were giving at the beginning of the movie. Everyone gets to see that Mario and Luigi are actually not failures. They are awesome and great at what they're doing. And Luigi does at least get that one moment to shine where he jumps in with that trash can lid shield to save Mario.
Oh, yeah.
A nostalgia cake of Mario and Nintendo greatness. I enjoyed all the voice acting in this movie. Of the 6 main voice actors, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is at the bottom, not because he did a bad job, he just didn't do as good a job as everybody else. Donkey Kong is kind of a strange character where, I mean, historically he doesn't really have a lot of voice. He's got a lot of animation and movement behind him, so giving that character a voice, I think, is a challenge. And Seth Rogen did a great job. I don't really have any complaints about it. I bought that as Donkey Kong 100%. Toad, by far, was the one that surprised me the most and is my second favorite as far as the voice acting goes, because Keegan-Michael Key came in with this voice and he kept it very lighthearted in the way that we would picture Toad, but he brought so much energy where he is just this optimistic powerhouse of we're going on an adventure and we're best friends. And it never came off as corny or forced. So the fact that he pulled that off, I just was continuously enjoying every voice line that Toad had. So Charlie Day as Luigi, he nailed it. I completely bought everything about Luigi's voice. Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, I suppose she must have been the voice of Peach through all the video games, because to me, she just sounded like Princess Peach.
She wasn't, but okay.
Yeah, I'm aware that she wasn't. But her voice was the most like the video game characters among all of them, in my opinion. Chris Pratt doing the voice. I admit, I thought it was a strange choice at first. After watching the movie, I actually think he was a great choice. Jack Black as Bowser, when I first heard that casting choice, I was like, that will be amazing. It was more amazing than I thought it would be. Jack Black gave him a voice, made it his own, and went above and beyond. Like I cared about Bowser because of how Jack Black managed to voice the character. Everybody in this movie did an amazing job with their voice acting. For me, Jack Black stole every scene he was in because he just took it so far above and beyond.
This is the tough part. All right. This is where you have to make a choice. You, each of you, and myself, Illumination Studios, that's right. It's Illumination Studios, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Illumination Studios and Nintendo pick you to choose. You get to greenlight one sequel or one spinoff. That's it. Just one. Which sequel or spinoff would you choose? Jeremy, I'm going to let you go first. Lincoln, and then I'll go. Lincoln, I'll let you go last. And so you can have a little time to think about it, because you get to pick just one sequel or spinoff.
All right. That is unfair to have it be just one. I'm going to go with doing a Super Mario Galaxy, because we got a little bit of a teaser with that extremely nihilistic Luma, the blue star in the cage, that was humorously depressing to listen to. It would give them many more areas to visit that would make sense as it moves along, and let them continue showing us the things that they just couldn't fit into this movie. Bringing in Rosalina, taking it out into space of the Mario universe, I think there's just a lot of potential there.
All right. I'm going to go with, and this would be tricky. I'm going to go with an adaptation of Super Mario Brothers 2. All four are going to have individual adventures. All four characters, Toad, Mario, Luigi, and Peach, all have to traverse this dream quest and then at the end work together. But throughout the movie are working individually and then have to work together at the end. So it wouldn't be exactly Super Mario 2, but it would draw its inspiration from it. Plus, I think the world of Super Mario 2 is so different from the rest of it. I think it would be visually intriguing. Plus, we get Birdo. So that would be my take. Super Mario 2 converted into a movie. It gives everyone a chance to shine. Lincoln, what do you think? If you can only do one spinoff or sequel, which one would it be?
Man, that is difficult. I would go for Luigi's Mansion, because Mario goes off exploring, Luigi is a little bit late, and Mario is captured by King Boo. And Luigi has to traverse with the poltergust and is just going through the mansion trying to save Mario. Seems like a really good idea. And plus, that would be Luigi's redemption.
All right. I mean, I would sell me a ticket now. I would go see that.
That one as a streaming TV series.
Oh, yeah.
8 episodes of Luigi's Mansion.
Nintendo decides they're going to make another franchise movie. Which one do they make first? Metroid? Or The Legend of Zelda?
All right, so personally, the one that I would want next is 100% The Legend of Zelda. I don't necessarily think it would be the easier movie to make, and maybe not even the better movie, but what I would want to see is some adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild obviously comes to mind, although I'd personally love to see Ocarina of Time as a feature-length film, or, I mean, gosh, then I start to wonder if it's easier to do it as an animated or live action, and I'd probably have to go with animated. So I don't think it'd be easy to make, and I think there's a lot of areas that they could mess that up, because it's one that would have to take itself a little bit more seriously. Don't let it be like the cartoon from the 80s. Excuse me, princess.
Well, excuse me, princess. Well, excuse me. Excuse me, princess. Excuse me, princess.
Yeah. None of that, please. Please. But yeah, give me a Legend of Zelda movie.
I would have to choose Metroid because Legend of Zelda, the character is named Link because it's a link between the player and the game. And Legend of Zelda seems more of a sandbox game, while Metroid is kind of like you're on a mission. And I feel like that would be a better one to make out of the two.
The Legend of Zelda is my personal favorite video game franchise. Converting that into a movie is a writer's nightmare. It would convert best into a streaming series. But even that, it's going to have so many uphill battles. You're going to have headwinds the whole time through the entire creative process. Because, like Lincoln said, Link is a link between the player and the game. And all of us, all three of us, everyone we know, all play the game differently. So most of the audience will be like, that's not how I did it. So I would say you don't take one of the games and convert them. You make a new story set in the universe of Hyrule, featuring in leading roles Link and Zelda. And that's probably your best bet, whether you do it in live action or animated. All right, Jeremy, so what are your final thoughts and your grade for the movie?
This movie was far and above worth going and seeing. The animation, the voice acting, the bombardment of Nintendo Easter eggs, all just coming at me rapid fire. It felt like playing a Mario game. I felt like I was on that ship trying to dodge all of those bullet bills that are being shot at you from every direction. As the stage moves for you, you can't go at your own pace. You have to go at its pace. That's what it felt like to me, and that gives it a very solid B.
The plot was good, the look, the sound, it was all good. I have to say one of the major flaws was Luigi. They made Luigi not really that important. I would have to give it a B.
I'm going to go a little higher than you guys because I'm saying a movie is, you grade it for what it's trying to do versus what it does. And I'm going to give it a B+. It's borderline an A-. Visually, it's spectacular. The voice acting is fantastic. The plot is what the plot is, and that's all it was ever meant to be. The flaws are pretty minor. It's not excellent, so it doesn't get an A, but it is very good. So I'm going with a B+. So we got 2 Bs and a B+. I'm taking it that we recommend seeing this movie. And probably if you're watching this, you have already seen the movie. So we want to know what you thought of it. What were your favorite moments in the movie? Who did you think did the best voice acting? If Nintendo was going to release another franchise, which one would it be? Would you go with The Legend of Zelda or Metroid? If you could choose a spin-off or a sequel to this movie, which one would it be? Let us know in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who like to talk about video games or movies or just debate the mundane, because that's what we're here for. So whether you're a GenXer, a Millennial, or a Gen Z, we recommend the Super Mario Brothers movie. Jeremy, Lincoln, thank you for joining me for this conversation about this beloved franchise. And next to Mickey Mouse, maybe the most iconic, kid-friendly, family-friendly cartoon video game universe character out there. And if you want to do the Mario voice as we sign out, knock yourselves out, because I'm going to give it a try. It's a me, Mario.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, when they do a sequel to this or a spinoff, I do expect to see Daisy. And when she comes on the screen, I want her to say,
I am Daisy. I am Daisy. I'm Daisy. I'm Daisy. Mamma mia! Woohoo!